Hello, hello. May I have your attention, please? Today I would like to introduce Professor Gerd Sedelies from Berliner School for Technique. He is in our school for the second time, so part of you certainly remember Professor from first year and from summer practice. This year also, besides classes on first and second level, Professor will join us during summer plenary also. And a few words about Berlin. Berlin is absolutely exceptional place because it's beautiful and hosts a unique museum for architectural drawings, unique and only in the world such a place. So it's something absolutely amazing about Berlin, and also that professor used to work in Berlin. He is a teacher of freehand drawing, as you probably expect. He draws. He is genius in drawing, but also is a beautiful teacher. So have a nice time with him. All the best. Thank you.
Dziękuję bardzo. Dziękuję serdecznie for this very nice introduction. I'm very excited to be here. Very happy to see you all in numerous amounts here in the Friday morning. So appreciate it very much. Welcome to my lecture, dear students. Welcome, dear colleagues, dear professors. Thank you very much for amazing reception, nice organization. Professor Ziechowska, Professor Baranski, Anna Baranska, thank you so much. I feel very warmly welcome here. So, after the first lecture, I reflected and I thought what I could offer you as a topic today. And one of the students nicknamed me Professor Berlin. And I thought it would be a good idea to do something with Berlin, to show you something about Berlin, but also at the same time to showcase also how we learn drawing on location and for what is drawing on location important for us. So, yes, several years ago, I published a little project which is called, now it appears, Berlin in Drawings. It shows our teaching during the summer semester, because in summer semester we go out and discover Berlin through drawings. It's not only showing iconic locations, urban situations, but also reflecting what points and what focuses are important teaching drawing on location. A little glance into the publication. So, this was the publication several years ago, and now I rethought and updated and expanded this, and I will take you together also with my students, because there are some drawings of my students, on a journey through Berlin, on a sketching journey through Berlin, and show you what we do on locations and what experience we have from there. But the first question is, before we start, nice that you are coming, appreciate it very much. The first question before we start, I would like to raise to you, why is so important for us architects to observe the three-dimensional surrounding through sketching? What do you think? Somebody can shout. What we can exercise with this type of drawings? This is really important that we, as architects, try to translate and learn all the aspects around that, the three-dimensional environment, into a two-dimensional sheet of paper. This is the challenge, how I can translate it as precise as possible, and what I learned during this sketching. This is actually a building of Bayer Sharing, is industrial company, and this building from the 70s, and these are drawings from the first semester. The drawings I will show you, they are not always masterpieces. This is like studies, thoughts, documentations, and you see the aspects we learn drawing on location are very clear, exposed here. And this is actually what? Interpretation, abstraction, learning perspective, rules, learning proportions, learning to deal with the composition, where I can set the building, what is more tension, learning about shading techniques, learning about colors. This all we practice on location. And this is just what we need as creatives, as an architects, because then we are more secure to express our ideas from a head through a hand and pencil precisely on a piece of paper. This is our all-day life as a creatives, and we have as a creatives very many ideas. A lot of ideas we have to express, and if we're confident with spatial drawing, then it's much more easier during the design process. So, and in the next step, we can transform our two-dimensional sketches again into a three-dimensional environment. We build models, and later in the real life, you will build big buildings and succeed as architects. And this is our poles where we're moving. We're moving always from 3D to 2D, from invention, from observation to invention. And this ping pong we always play as a creatives. So, and the question I would like also to ask you, why we should draw, because we all have our telephones every time, every minute we have everywhere, during the day, during the night, all the telephones, we have all the cameras inside. So why is not better to make a photo instead of just take, why is it important to draw instead to make just a photo? Yeah? Because photo is fast and more precisely than a drawing. I put some bullet points to you to answer this question, some brief points. What you do through drawing, what you not do to a photograph, taking photographs. You actively observe the surrounding. You really train your eye to see not just a short, not just a little glance, but to see also really more intense the surrounding. You understand much better the relations, the space, the scale, the proportions, everything is much more precisely than the quick photo. Time inside the drawing slows you down and deepens your connection with the place. So it's much more deeper relation with the architecture, with the urban situation. And abstraction and emphasis. This also what I mentioned. We learn to abstract. We learn to emphasize things. Drawing lets you filter, simplify, and interpret. Urban awareness, urban or architectural awareness also notice patterns, structures, and relationships is much more intensive during the drawing. Is also the drawing on location inspires you also to make your own ideas. So this is also good for design thinking process. It's good to draw also observational to spark new ideas for your design process. And this is the reason why we at Berliner Hochschule für Technik in the Department of Painting and Drawing and Painting, we call it in German Freie Darstellung, short FRED, transform our lectures in summer to the city with a range of interesting building situations in variety of complexities we can train to draw on locations. So before we dive deeply into Berliner locations, I would like to show you a map of Berlin. This is the big map with all the 12 districts and 4 million people, but we are more in the center, so we get a little bit closer. I marked here the main roads and the main waterways, the Spree River with the neighbored canals. And this line is the ring train around the city. It looks a little bit like a dog face. It's 37 kilometers in a rain ring, which crosses around the city. And this is the human head sitting inside of the dog head. And this human head is actually the road ring around the historical center. So understanding Berlin is very easy. It's a human head sitting inside of a dog head. Very, very simple. To better understand it, I marked the iconic buildings which you all know. This is the TV tower, the famous TV tower, and the Brandenburg Gate. So we have now orientation and we can start. Before we set off, I would like to ask you participate actively on the lecture, and during my lecture something maybe falls in your eye, and maybe you have something inspires you, stays in the mind. Then I would like to ask you on these little sheets of paper, we give it to you to draw 1 or 2 buildings, what really catches your attention or inspires you. And we see what we can do with that in the end of the lecture. So it would be great if you will note some situations, buildings, what inspires you. Okay, let's go start our journey. Now we're at the main campus, Luxemburger Straße of Berliner Hochschule für Technik. I'm standing in front of the Haus Bauwesen. In this building is located the Faculty of Architecture and Building Technology, the building from the 70s with a lot of concrete and technical stuff, and as well the Department of Drawing and Painting. And let's see what's happening there inside.
Aber dadurch, dass sie jetzt ein bisschen ernst nehmen, dann ist es super
So that was our building, our university, and especially the Faculty of Architecture and Building Technology and the Drawing and Painting department. And we do not only paint there, but also organize. This is the location of the university. It's a little bit outside of the rail ring, but still very central. And we do not only paint and draw, but also organize interesting exhibitions in the end of the semester. And we also welcoming very honorable guests, delegations from Krakow, the professors who visited, who did a visit last semester. So this was a little introduction starting with our school, but we go outside in the summer semester, and if we go outside, we can explore different possibilities. And 200 meters away from our university is a very special place. This place is called Westhafen. Westhafen, you know, hafen is harbor or port. Westport is a largest inner city port in Berlin. And you see, it offers us a beautiful location with industrial architecture along the waterfront. And this location, this is not only an amazing location for the drawing, but it's also a very, very good backdrop for politicians to make a photo shootings. It's a former government of Germany. They take a big photo shoot before they started on Westhafen. So, if we take place on our folding stools, we can start. And with what to start is always the question, how I start my drawing, what I can do. Can you hear? Oh, not hear. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Dziękuję. Okay, what to start? We start usually with the line. The line is the first what we have, and the line can go long. And what can we do with the line? With the line, we can do a lot. With the line, we can transform our drawings into spatial impressions with very simple things like varying the thickness, overlapping the lines, putting them together, combining them, and then you start to show very, very interesting spatial things. These are the drawings from the second semester I show you. And the topic was indeed to take the line and to do something with the line, and to show the three-dimensionality only with the line. So closely spaced lines to each other makes or creates hatching. Hatching is the next step, next level, to make our drawings to reveal them more three-dimensional. This is also a grind silo located on the Westhafen grounds, and very interesting spot to draw. And you see what you can do with hatchings. We often draw with fine liners and markers. This is an interesting interplay, and offers the students more brave and bold impressions, concentrating on the architectural forms. And the mistakes, you always have afraid of the mistakes, but this is not the problem, because you can integrate mistakes creatively. You can use this as advantage to make this in artistic way. Sometimes you have to hatch also the background to put the architecture more in front. So this was the Westhafen, a very popular location, and this is not only harbor or port in Berlin. There is another interesting, which is located completely opposite in the south. This is Tempelhofer Hafen, Tempelhofer port, located on the Teltow Canal. The canal is here, so a little bit outside of the map. And this is also a very, very nice location for shopping and leisuring, combination of old and new. And we love also to visit this location with preserved warehouse, old warehouse, and these are the impressions. So you see, we use not only pencils, markers, and fine liners, but a range of medias, of drawing medias, to express and to find also our personal, this is the advantage, to find our personal language artistic language. And in terms of color, we use also watercolor because it's the fastest. We don't have too much time and locations, and we have to do it very quickly. So we use watercolors in terms of paint, to make it, because they dry very quickly, to make the more vivid impression of the drawings. We can take a subway from Tempelhof Harbor, if we take a subway and go a few stops further, we arrive at a very special place in the city. This is Tempelhof Airport, Tempelhof Flughafen, and this is very, very unique inner city field, open field, which is one of the largest in the world, which remained from disused airport. The airport was working until 2010, and then they closed it and built the area as a park, for leisure, for kite surfing, for skating, to open to the city. This airport, actually, the building itself, it's very interesting because it's one of the largest buildings. It was made or constructed during the Nazi time, is now historical protection. This is the impression of the 1st May. The 1st May is always a big festival there on the field with a lot of people, families, children, workshops, music, picnics. It's a big event on the 1st May. And the building itself, you see, it has a frontage of 1.2 kilometers and used now. They are not really fixed use of this, but more cultural use, like movie shootings, for fairs, for concerts, every kind of cultural activities finding place there. We had an opportunity. There is also the main entrance hall, which is 100-meter long entrance hall, where you arrived at the airport during the working times until 2010. And this is very, very symmetric with repeating patterns, very symmetric hall, which we can observe very good, and we can exercise the perspective, depth, and light and shadow. The first year drawings, what you see here, observing the big entrance hall of the airport. Okay, and now we go in the same subway and really go towards the city center and arrive at the Schinkelplatz, which is a historic area, historic square, which was rebuilt now to a very nice situation with the views to important buildings, and I will show you a little movie again. So, that was a little Instagram reel. We do also Instagram with our department, and this was a little session we did with my colleague Katerina, researching and and looking what we can do with the students, and then we did the lecture also with the students there. You see here on this side is the Berlin Palace, Berliner Schloss, new rebuilt palace with historical, after historical plans, and let's see what the students did. You see also the main cathedral. You see the tower. You see Museums Island from this. It's very interesting in terms of views. And the last one. Yes, this was our beautiful weather. You see, it's a pleasure. And the topic was actually to use only one mixed color, watercolor, and with the ratio of pigment and water to make observation, which observes light and shadow and three-dimensionality, to show the three-dimensionality with one mixed watercolor. So behind the Schinkelplatz, you saw it also in the movie clip, there was a very critical discussed a new building complex, because it's very, very luxury building complex in a city center, which actually very expensive, but despite that, the question is about diversity and fits it really in this place, And you see one student draw that really shiny, as it is, very neatly, very precisely with all the hatchings, amazing accuracy, what she did. So, this was the city center and the Schinkelplatz, and we can not only reach the city center from the south, but we can reach the city center from all the different directions. We can reach the city center also from the east, from the eastern part. And the eastern part has a very special big road, big axis called Frankfurter Allee, Farmer Karl Marx Allee, where you can see big socialistic buildings from the post-war socialistic prestige architecture to express also the progress and the power of socialism. We call it Stalinist classicism, with big facades, decorative elements. And this Stalinist classicism, is placed on this main road, on the Grand Boulevard Frankfurter Tor. And the place where we're sitting now, it's called Strausberger Platz. It's a very interesting place because it's a rondel with a fountain in the middle of the rondel. And we took place there and started to draw. And the topic was actually to a little bit, to reference the socialistic history. The students had to do some red accents within the composition. It's a little bit funny, but these are the works of our students on Strausberger Platz. I will show you with this always inside with the red accents. Interpretations, graphical interpretations of the Strausberger Platz. Very interesting story. I don't know if you love science fiction movies, but there was also movie which called Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes of the series of the Hunger Games. And in this special movie, they transformed the Strausberger Platz into a film set. You see with the spectacular additions. And some kind of exercise inspired by that, I did also with my students this kind of exercise to rebuild the Strausberger Platz and to exercise there round shapes, interesting round shapes. The topic was to learn how to draw the round shapes. So, yeah. So, do you know where we now are? In which place? Does somebody of you has been to Berlin? Super, yeah, super. Bravo. Did you also did a drawing there, or? No, not yet, but after the lecture maybe. Very good. Okay, this is Alexanderplatz. Is actually the central place. The Berliners call it Alex, just Alex. And actually is the huge transportation hub, huge crossing point, and a lot of things happening there. The city decided to make this area, this district, to a high-rise district. So to build not to renovate only one hotel, but to build also other skyscrapers around. You see it on the billboard. This is the vision. Is it good or not? You can decide, but it's also very controversial discussions about it. But for us, it's good because we can observe a dramatic vanishing point, third vanishing point perspective, which we called the drama vanishing point because it's really, really dramatic in terms of showing heights and scale. Yes, the student works with the third dramatic perspective. Yeah. So drama unfolds not only on the sheets of paper, but drama unfolds also in the areas around where we're sitting and drawing. And this is the advantage of the drawing. You can experience very interesting adventures and very interesting scenes happening around you. So during we stayed on Alexanderplatz and draw this Haus des Reisens, the high-rise, police officers are chasing a ferret on the field here next to us. And it was big adventure also for our students, how the police chased this ferret on the field. At the same time, maybe you saw it in the video clip, it was a man with a broken car, really on the opposite, in the middle of this huge traffic there. And this man came to me and said, he's wondering why the police chasing a ferret and not helping him with the car, because the car stops the whole traffic and makes jams, makes traffic jams. So this kind of experience you always have during the drawing. But even more, sometimes a reporter comes by and makes a photo of you, or even a camera team of MTV television spontaneous filmed our drawing session. or a social manager of big companies saw us from the skyscraper and come down and did a clip. So the drawing is not only good to train the eyes, the drawing is also good for communication, conversations, adventures. It really makes an immersive experience out of the drawing location. Where else we can observe this dramatic third vanishing point? This is the new built area, which is called Potsdamer Platz. It was actually a dead zone because it was a place where the wall was, and it was a dividing area between east and western parts. And this zone was really empty, and in 1997, the architects were invited, big companies and big names, big architects were invited to rebuild this area from the scratch, completely new. And this is the result. But it's also an example, despite the stars and despite the companies, how architecture can fail, because this area is not accepted by people, it's dead area. So this effort and this money, failed in this case. But again, for us, to show the dramatic skyscrapers is also good, and to draw there, you see some examples of our students again, emphasizing the heights of the polished facades. What is good for drawing the dramatic perspectives like third vanishing points, sometimes to put sitting peoples on the ground, they make the composition even, they raise a little bit the dramatic impression of the heights. So, okay, this was the Potsdamer Platz, and now I would like to show you some iconic architecture buildings, 3 of them, which may be also interesting for you to see. We're now at Berlin Philharmonic in the musical heart of Berlin, and you see students behind me are drawing, and we will have a look what they're doing. So this is an iconic musical center, musical heart of Berlin, Berlin Philharmonie, and as a symphony orchestra plays with different instruments and makes a nice piece of music. We also decided to draw with multimedia, like a collection of different styles to make also maybe a piece of art, but sometimes there are also studies and spatial documentations. Do you know by accident who is the architect of this tent kind of construction? This is very, very tent-like construction, which, I will show you in the next slide, with very, very expressive ground floor and also very expressive architecture. Do you know by accident, the architect, he built some other buildings around in the area. You know, maybe, no, don't know, no? Yeah. This is Hans Scharoun. Now you know Hans Scharoun. It was very, quite progressive because this building was opened in 1963. And in this time there were no computers, everything had to be done by hand. And you see, this is really the concept sketch, the main concept sketch of that. He was also sketching a lot. The revolutionary thing was that they built the stage in the middle. The stage is in the middle, surrounded by terraces, vineyard kind terraces, where the audience were sitting. And they made also huge models. You see these terraces of audience, and they made also acoustic model in the scale 1:9. So it was a very big effort, but this is now like a, how to say, main concept also where other concert halls were inspired. For example, also in Hamburg, the New Philharmonic is on the same principle. The stage is in the middle, surrounded with audience around. So the Hans Scharoun built other buildings also around. This located really completely near on the Potsdamer Platz, really behind the Potsdamer Platz. The area is called Kulturforum. This is the Kulturforum. Is also with the new National Gallery, Neue Nationalgalerie von Mies van der Rohe. And this is the Philharmonie. And Hans Scharoun built also musical instrument museum, which is also connected with Philharmonie. This is one unit. And on the opposite, he did the Berlin State Library. All the buildings speaks his expressive language, and they're all very interesting to draw and to sketch. We had only the opportunity to draw the Philharmonie from outside. It's very complicated to get in because we have to rent a security man. This is not so easy, but in return, in winter, we could go into a musical instrument museum. You see the architecture. And also to visit the State Library, which is also very impressive in terms of architecture. And good to us to study it by drawings, through drawings. Okay. Professor Zikowska mentioned there is in Berlin a very important institution. This is the second iconic building I would like to show you, which is really important for us architects and for you also, who passionate for drawing and painting. Somebody knows what it is? Okay, I tell you. This is from Professor Zikowska mentioned it, Museum for Architectural Drawing, Chorban Foundation, founded by an architect, Sergei Chorban. Since 2009 was the idea, 2013 was the opening, and there are all kind of interesting exhibitions in terms of architectural drawing. This museum is located really in the brain of the head. It's Prenzlauer Berg, a very nice area in Berlin, worth to visit it. And this area is not only the museum, but also Pharma Brewery, Pfefferberg, and the brewery has very interesting industrial buildings around. In this museum, the last exhibition we could visit together, also with the professors from Krakow, was the drawings, these black and white watercolor drawings of a very famous architect, Stephen Hall, American architect Stephen Hall. On the right side, you see the Sergei Chorban, the founder of this museum. He is very passionate for drawings, and this is his life, actually. Therefore, he initiated this museum. So, and last week, we went with our students to draw there, and I will show you the impressions from the last week, what we did there. Wie findest du?
Ja, sehr cool. Und dann hier oben im Himmel auch, oder?
Und dann würde ich auch, vielleicht kannst du dieses Blau ganz leicht kannst du machen vielleicht. And how is to draw the drawing museum, huh? Beautiful. Beautiful. How is going? Good? Very nice, very nice. So we had a very beautiful day there with good drawings also in the end, but we had our different encounters. One very famous artist came by accident along, the Chinese artist Ai Weiwei. He was appeared accidentally and filmed us during we did our sketch exercise, and afterwards the social media manager from the museum came down and said she wants to do a post, and she did it also here. So you find it in the museums, on the museum's Instagram site. And again, the challenge was to draw again with non-erasable medias. I always motivate the students, put the pencil away, try to draw with non-erasable medias, because it's really makes you to be decisiveness, makes you to set decisions quickly. And some of the students took it really serious and liked it so much that they now hold the building as a lifelong arm tattoo. So, no, she did it before, but I now put it in this context. So it's If you're in Berlin, I really recommend you. Go there, visit the exhibition, visit the museum, and visit also the area around, the Pfefferberg, with industrial architecture from former brewery. So in the last iconic architecture I would present to you is the Axel Springer Neubau. Axel Springer is a technology and media center, big technology and media center. Axel Springer is actually publisher, and they built a really, really huge building in the middle of Berlin. I show you some excerpts from a movie, The New Building, that you see what about we now are talking.
Wie dieses Gebäude konzipiert ist im Innenraum, wie hier Arbeit in der digitalen Welt konzipiert und gedacht worden ist, basiert genau auf der Hypothese, dass eben viel weniger in Büros klassischer Prägung gearbeitet wird.
What you should think of this building is a courtyard, but inside the building. A courtyard that can be used, a courtyard that kind of influences every kind of part of the building, and a courtyard that enables you, even if you're in the center of the building, to be inundated with daylight, but also to have a view in every sense of the surrounding city. And I think it is one of the purposes of this building, not only to inspire, but also to make public what happens in a company.
So kind of advertisement, but you have seen what the building is really open, huge open space, 13 levels you could put inside, and it makes a working place for 3,500 people. You recognize the architect, Rem Koolhaas, one of the famous architects nowadays, with the Office OMR, Office for Metropolitan Architecture, designed this building, and it was in Germany because of a lot of regulations there. It was very, very difficult to do the fire protection and the construction. To solve the construction, the fire protection was really a masterpiece, with completely crazy like pipes where you can run if it's a fire. It's really, really, absolutely a challenge. Let's see an atmosphere of the students drawing there.
Mein Gebäude literally so.
Aber eigentlich kannst du es auch machen.
Yeah, we did it. What you can practice on the huge glass facades nowadays. Yeah, of course, reflections. Reflections are also a part of modern architectural visualizations because all the buildings nowadays has public building has huge glass facades. And we took it even a step further. To challenge the students, because we have to rethink the building itself. It's such a complicated, and then we put it a challenge above to turn the composition. So to make a interesting, to twist interesting composition on your sheet of paper and to draw an interesting part with twisted composition. And it was really challenging to switch the thinking because everything was like slashed, oblique, but some of the results are really cool. And you see this building has a really huge slashed open facade towards the city, and the people call it crocodile's mouth because it looks like a mouth, big mouth, which is opened in towards the city. Some of the switched perspectives. To find also the right composition was not so easy, but it succeeded. And some of the photographs out of the crocodile's mouth, looking towards the city, if you have the possibility to visit, it's not so easy to visit, but some tours are there. Visit it. It's an interesting piece of architecture. Yeah, and last but not least, I would like to take you to one lost place in Berlin. It's a bit of a trip, but let's do it because it's worth it. It's a Teufelsberg. I don't know if you know this picture. This is also a famous picture. If you visit Berlin, you will see it somewhere. This is former listening station of US military during the Cold War, with these towers and the domes on that. These domes were covering the radars. This station was built on the Teufelsberg. The Teufelsberg was an artificial hill constructed out of a 20 million cubic meters rubble from the Second World War. The rubble they found there, they put it on this mountain, on the Berg, and on the top of this, they put this listening station. The Teufelsberg was actually also a leisure place for Berliners to spend a free time, to have a nice views from above. And now it's a really lost place, and it makes it very special to observe and to draw there, because the lost places has some kind of historic energy, which makes maybe the drawing session kind of interesting, adventurous. So a few impressions from our drawing session there. With actually amazing views over Berlin, you see behind. Huh? Yeah, all the domes, they covered the radar, how to say, the radar, the radar waves from the weather, from the thank you, that they are safe inside. Yeah, these were my sketches. One actually is very big on a huge paper, and this is actually, they're the same size, but one is really 7 centimeters. This is this one, really, really small thumbnail sketch, and this one is a big one. So sometimes, if you don't have time, you can also sketch very quick a small thumbnail sketch to get an impression. And these are the students' interpretations of Teufelsberg, of the listening station. And the nice thing was that we could also directly set up there an exhibition, directly on this site, on top, and that made students and me also very happy. We did a small exhibition. Yeah, it's also possible to visit this place, but I don't know if you have to book it in advance, but you can visit it with guided tours. Also, this place is quite worth to see it. So this was a little selection of spots I wanted to show you, not only in terms of iconic architecture, but also how and for what is important to teach the drawing, to teach perception, and to teach your own style, your own architecture language. Besides these spots, Berlin offers many, many, many more. A huge variety of interesting compositions, of interesting places, urban situations, architecture. There is a lot to discover, and we try to vary also the locations with also variation of the levels of complexity. One little connection I would like to make to you, because you are modern students, you use also digital tools, and it's always possible to go a little bit further, to take the soul, the sketch, this is your soul, this is your perception, your personality, and extended it a little bit with digital tools, for example, to rework it or to paint it with digital colors, or even make a variation with the help of AI, which maybe leads you to completely new ideas. Nowadays, you can very, very quickly produce this kind of variation. Within 10 minutes, you have this. And even push it one step further, because this technical stuff develops very rapidly. The soul, the drawing remains, and it's also important that the drawing remains, because this is also the best way to communicate with the machine. Because then the machine, if you make a sketch and put to the machine understands you better instead of typing it in words. And again, you can make it now a step further, and take this to a real animations. And they look really, really nice, because they have this artistic touch also. So this could lead you maybe to also very, very interesting ideas also for your design process. Yeah, and then a little connection also from Berlin to Krakow. We have to say, because we tested also, we were with our students here, and we were very warm welcomed also at your university, at your department. Krakow has also a lot of amazing places to draw, to discover. So go out, sit, make sketches there. You have an amazing location, and we made possible that now, in cooperation with Professor Zikowska, that we have now an Erasmus contract, and I invite you to come to us to Berlin, to Berliner Hochschule, and I will send a lot of students, hopefully to you, that our fruitful cooperation will raise and will be extended. It would be very, very nice if we cooperate further together. So, that was my lecture. Dziękuję bardzo za uwagę. But I would like to ask you, did you draw some sketches? Because I would like to invite you to put the sketches to a big Berlin collage now on the stage. I will make a photograph and I will transform that to the audience. Is it possible that you, or give it to me or to one of you? Yeah. Somebody has more sketches?